Welcome back to Hearts of Iron 3 with the HPP mod. I'm Captain Yellowfin. We are testing the newest patch, supposedly on very hard, but I have to quickly check this. Well, first of all, quick recap. It's early fall 1938. We have very quickly defeated nationalist China in comparison to reality. In the real timeline, the conflict between Japan and nationalist China was never decided until Japan finally capitulated. So what we just did here in 1938 in game never even happened until late summer of 1945. So I'm not sure. This is really very hard. Let's quickly go into the configuration settings, difficulty settings, custom faction settings. Currently the allies are set to very hard. The X's are set to very hard. And the Comintern are set to very hard, okay. That seems to be the case, but I'm not perfectly happy with how this went. And I'm not sure why. Maybe nationalist China. This is a conflict that takes place before really anyone joins the Allies. The British and the French are in the Allies, and then their puppets, of course. Not even all of them. Lebanon and Syria are not in. They are not in the Allies, the French puppets. So maybe that's the reason why China wasn't able to profit from these difficulty settings. We didn't have them either, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to bring this up on the forums. Maybe China is too weak somehow. I'll also have to look at the balance changes. Maybe the balance changes made it so that Japan is actually much stronger. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, we'll keep playing the campaign. We'll just see how things go later on. We are in the course of pulling back our army from wherever they were fighting, and we are done actually for the most part. We have some light cavalry left in China. Total of 4 divisions. And then we have another 8 infantry divisions, which we are in the process of moving back. We're moving north into Mochukun territory. So we'll just keep doing that. We'll keep reorganizing the army. As you can see, I have removed some commanders. High-skilled commanders, and we'll replace a lot of the leaders in various units and command posts. Let's go a bit faster maybe. Let's go with speed 3 right now that we don't have anything to worry about. As you can see, I have removed a lot of high skill commanders from their command posts. They're now in the personnel pool basically. Which we'll be able to draw from as soon as the need arises again. We're upgrading some cavalry regiments to motorized infantry regiments so that we can start training our light armor divisions. We're also expanding our IC, building some transports, some heavy cruisers are being upgunned. We're expanding our base in southeastern former China, the island of Hainan, I believe it's what it's called. We have a light cruiser under construction and the upgrade of a battle cruiser is ongoing. Training an additional division of marine infantry. After the demobilization we also have some manpower left. And we're expanding forts in other places. In terms of research, we're still researching some theories. Naval engineering, aeronautic engineering, and electronic engineering, which we have reached quite a high level at this point. We're also trying to get the best fighters we can, and now we're researching a bit too far ahead for my taste. I think we'll switch this over to maybe army aviation, or let's improve our strategic air command structure instead. Of course, we have a lot of spying activity ongoing. And Mexico is taking steps to align themselves to the Allies. This might be related to the fix, so to say, that the mod team is trying to integrate, which causes often the US to be very passive because they're worried about Mexico, as Mexico doesn't join the Allies. Maybe what we're seeing here is Mexico aligning itself to the Allies so that the US won't be as passive as they usually are under AI control. And the US are trying to spy on us. We have 10 spies on counter-espionage. We're also catching a lot of spies, of course. And we have researched the next level of aeronautic engineering. Keep researching. We have a couple of research projects that we should urgently undertake. Want my steel production, my rare materials refining, and my coal processing, not necessarily. I don't think energy is a problem, but steel and rares would be nice to have better versions of. I want to get supply production, of course, and first aid. Decryption machine. In terms of doctrines, for quite some time we'll not have to do any research. We should get the next level here. Improve our carriers. And from 1939 onwards we'll have... This one is also one that we need. But otherwise we also have a lot of other projects from 1939 on. In infantry we are on the way, pretty much. Could use some more research projects, would be nice to get these improvements to our weapons. Better anti-tank guns, of course. Armor, of course, yes, would be nice to research the next levels. But it's not a focus. And we have to make use of limited resources. Okay, the first set of cavalry is upgrading to motorized infantry. Means we now have a nice motorized... 2 motorized infantry regiments along with 1 light armor regiment. We probably should reinforce the border with Russia. Then we have the 2 light armor divisions that were deployed in China. They still haven't upgraded to motorized infantry. That's the next step, and then eventually they should get a motorized support regiment. Now let's see we need an infantry division that we can upgrade with support tanks. I think one of these up here would be good. Maybe the 3rd Infantry Division. Ideally, I would like to have as many divisions as possible, additional infantry support tanks. But I think the minimum would be to have 1 per corps. Means we need about 3 more battalions here. We have finished some industrial capacity. We'll pretend it's increased naval construction capacity, so we'll place it in South Cebu. Bring these transports north to distribute these garrisons. I have garrison divisions to distribute, but we're going to need more. Also something we could be training. And we are wasting a little bit of IC. So if we're training garrison reserves, going to cost us almost 4 manpower. I think we should keep training them. We should probably also start training our first airborne infantry. Training Marines. No more Mountaineers at the moment, but we have a division earmarked. I believe it's the 12th Infantry Division, yes. They don't have a motorized infantry, motorized support regiment. So they will be ideally suited for upgrading to mountain infantry. We can already bring them back. And some transports finished. I'm not even sure where my transport planes are at. So it seems that Kyokutsu no Kokukantai means fighter squadron. So let's make sure that we have the right names then. That's the 4th fighters. Then 3rd fighter squadron. 1st fighter squadron. 2nd fighter squadron. Those are naval bombers. Those are naval bombers. And they have a completely different name. First Yuso no Kokukantai, first transport. We'll rebase them to. Actually, we'll do it different. Place these here. We'll have them fly over to join the transports. Where are the other transports? Oh, they're in Taiwan. Okay. And then we have excess production capacity. We're not building any heavy air units at the moment. I'm not sure how many airborne infantry regiments can we build. 2 divisions, 3, 4, 4. Yeah, let's start training them. We'll take care of some of the IC. Then we have 5 more IC. And what's finishing next? These 2 heavy cruisers. Those will free about 5 IC. Then we have to wait until December 3rd. Number 9 for aircraft guns. Okay. Yep, that's looking good. And we're still wasting 5 IC. Could start to upgrade the 12th Infantry Division. Which is still on the way. Or we could order something else. And I was thinking, are we building any planes right now? No, we're not. Let's quickly go through our air force. We have a squadron of heavy fighters. We have a squadron of heavy bombers with 2 wings. We have 1 transport squadron with 2 wings. We have an additional squadron with 1 heavy fighter. We have a squadron with 1 wing heavy bombers. And we have a bunch of light fighters. Medium bombers and light bombers. We have another squadron of transports. I'm not sure what Hikodan means, probably air wing. So we'll rename this second USO, meaning transport. USO no Toku Antai. Okay. Those are the heavy bombers. These will be renamed. This is a fighter. We're not distinguishing between heavy and light fighters. But let's say, so we have second fighters, first fighters, third and fourth. Let's make these 14th heavy fighters or fighters. And the reason for selecting 14 is we have 4 here, so I know that 4 and 14 are heavy. And I'll keep the others with whatever number follows next. So we have 3 heavy fighters. We have 3 heavy bombers. We call the heavy bombers Yukogeki Hikudan. They're just 2 different ways of writing it. I think these words look almost the same. That's number 1 and 2 wings, and that's just call this second, and we'll just write it the same way. Okay, hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. And we have some medium bombers and some light bombers. More light bombers. Some naval bombers, and that's some naval bombers. Let's rename this. Second Nihon no Toku. Those will be the naval bombers. Okay. Now we have 2 naval bombers. How many light fighters do we have? 3, 4. Yeah. Okay, 4 light fighters, 3 heavy fighters, 2 times naval bombers. Four times, I believe, light bombers. 4 times medium bombers. 4 times transports. Three times heavy bombers. Hold on, but the medium bombers, we only have 2 of those. It's actually possible. Hmm. I don't know, I really don't know, but I think we should be building some planes, so... Let's build some additional naval bombers. And we have improved industrial efficiency. We can switch this research project over. Maybe to steel production. I think I should tell the AI to buy more steel. If it can. Okay, now we'll transfer the 9th Corps towards the north. Our last divisions are arriving finally. Then we might have to rename some of the HQs. Actually an infantry division that's ready. That should be renamed. Something is odd. And we have finished upgrading his industrial production. Let's research. Let's get supplies production. Yeah, 2 heavy cruisers are ready. They will deploy in Sasebo. Let's pretend they were being retrained here. They need an officer and to be attached to the Imperial Japanese Navy. And we have 3 IC available. We'll use this to upgrade the next mountain infantry division. This one is trained, so number 12 will upgrade, starting with the 14 Infantry Regiment. This is 1.3 IC, so we'll retrain the next regiment right away. And we are now, with the upgrades that came through, we are now an industrial major power. Let's go ahead. This will give us 2 more in leadership. And some additional IC even. So we can start retraining next regiment as well. And then we still have 2 IC. And I will opt for... we're not... We have still 1 surface unit, 2 surface units in production. Light 3 actually, a light cruiser that will finish soon. This year even. Then we have a battle cruiser that's being upgraded. And we have the Yamato that's that's under construction. These regiments will be done by March 1939. Brilliant. So I'm thinking we could do with another light carrier. Let's hold off on the air group. And we have additional research that we can start on. That's brilliant. Let's think about priorities. How are we doing in terms of size? Yeah, we could always use more spies, that's for sure. Let's go with one additional research project and some additional espionage. Yeah, let's get started on the weapons for special forces. And then let's go through the research queue. Make sure things are somewhat in order here. Okay. And then we have an overview of what will finish next. So the 9th Corps will be assigned to the Northern Manchukuo. army. Third Infantry Division will be reinforced with a infantry support tank battalion. And here we have an infantry division, which does have a bit of a strange name. We're improving our anti-air guns, so we can cancel this research. And we'll put it into man-portable anti-tank weapons. And we have another corps that can send north. I think we should have some strong forces in the Far East. In case of conflict with the Soviet Union, we want to be able to threaten Vladivostok and Khabarovsk. Which also means we should probably prop up the Korean army. We have a skill 2 commander here. But we can probably do a bit better. So we can send 4th Corps to the Korean army. Find a good corps commander. Yeah, Corps HQ will redeploy. Be used somewhere else, and 1 light cavalry division will deploy to the south. Just basically help our allies. So we have 1 cavalry division in the north. It'll be stationed in Beiping. 1 will be stationed in Shanghai. And 1 will be stationed in Wuhan. And if necessary, we can redeploy more. Not quite sure that our allies have more fighting troops than HQs. All I can see is these 3 infantry brigades. Allies, I should say, puppets. Mochukwa is doing much better in terms of military. They have at least some cavalry, some militia. They even have some horse-towed artillery. Some infantry. Actually not terrible. I mean, it's pretty terrible. But at least something. And as we are moving in troops, we can start pulling back our light cavalry divisions. We still have a lot of border provinces to occupy. Second Army HQ will redeploy to the main island also for a moment. Training going and construction. Oh, Siong, I'm not sure where I'm going to build these. Oh, this is here. This is in Taiwan. And we have improved naval engineering and closer to current levels. Ground attack tactics will improve soon. Okay. Fourth Corps will redeploy to Manchuria as well. I think we can also pick up 10th Division. So anti-aircraft one has completed. Okay, we'll leave it like this. We might stop these mega projects here. Land fortification in Haiku. And coastal forts in Haiku maybe We'll moderately expand them and not keep building those for next decade or so. And we lose a crude oil trade, that's bad. I don't think my AI is very aggressively trying to buy oil. I'm gonna have a go at this myself. But right now nobody is... Yep. See if we can get some oil from the Soviet Union. Nope. Buy fuel though. Let's just buy some fuel. How much are they willing to sell? Let's see if we can get 40 fuel. Okay, we're moving in some forces. We also have some garrison divisions on the main island that we could theoretically spare. Maybe they would actually be of more use somewhere else. We're advancing ground tactics, ground attack tactics. We'll keep researching in this branch of technology. And I just realized I need to start the chat application that shows me both chats from Twitch as well as YouTube. Right now I can only see, I believe, Twitch chat with a delay. I'm gonna quickly save the game, but I'll hope it won't crash. Click outside Hearts of Iron 3. Start the application. Click back into it. So far it hasn't crashed. Going back. Now it crashed. Okay, but it's not a problem because I made a save game. Start the game. The thing is, I'm restreaming to Restream.io and streaming to Twitch and YouTube at the same time, but OBS Studio only shows me one chat, which is the Twitch chat for some reason. Okay. And we're back with Hearts of Iron 3. Right, we're in the process of redeploying troops. When we were fighting Nationalist China, which we already defeated, we pretty much only left garrison, triangular garrison divisions and binary light cavalry divisions on border guard duties. So now we're trying to have some stronger forces back here. So we have one reinforced infantry division which does have a support tank battalion. They will stay here in the plains because that's more suited. And we'll form 2 corps here. We have the 21st Infantry Division moving in. '21st and the 11th together will form a separate corps. Just need to pick up a spare corps command, which we have here. We haven't renamed our fleets yet, that's still a big chaos. Just did that with the air fleets. But I will take care of this eventually. So we have the we have an army group command here. And 3rd Corps is stationed in this island, which came into Japanese possession after the victory over Nationalist China. I forgot the name again, I think it's called Hainan. And we are expanding this province here, as you can see. Want to increase the port capacity. Want to increase air defense, coastal defense and so on. We also want to increase the airbase capacity. Because of course we have aggressive plans for Southeast Asia. And this is going to be our springboard. And we have a few light armor divisions, but they are still incomplete. They all lack motorized support, and 2 light armor divisions even lack motorized infantry. But right now our production queue is pretty full. We still have some upgrades going on for this battle cruiser. Light cruiser is finishing. We're training a garrison division, a marine infantry division. We are retraining one of our hero infantry divisions to become a mountain infantry division. And we are training paratroopers. We are building the Yamato battleship and a light carrier. Upgrading the naval base, that's good. And we have completed carrier air group pilot training. let's see what we're going to switch over to. Probably fighter pilots first. We're spying on the United Kingdom. Let's see. So they have more IC available than we do. They have some unrest or dissent. Pretty low. Oh no, that's the leadership estimate. I thought it's officer ratio. They sit on plenty of resources. They're also struggling a bit for rares like we are. But they're strong technology. Light aircraft, army aviation, electronic engineering is high. They're building radars already. We can't even build radars yet. We're building heavy cruisers, battleships, carriers. I see they're also training paratroopers and some motorized infantry. Okay. France is building infrastructure. That's interesting. Trying to spy on the US is very difficult. Have a lot of they invest a lot into counter-espionage. The 3 garrison divisions that we can redeploy somewhere else. There's one more in Tokyo. The light cruiser Katori is finishing tomorrow in game. And we are wasting IC. That's from the light cruiser. What's the next project? More subs, more destroyers is always an option. We upgrade some cavalry to motorized infantry. Or we could train motorized support. We even have mechanized support. That's a technology that we stole from France successfully. I'm thinking another destroyer flotilla, actually. Yep. Let's do it. And we are reorganizing the foreign ministry. The head of the foreign ministry is of the firm belief that the ministry is in need of some restructuring. In his opinion, some of the senior diplomats are too hesitant towards change and therefore not up to par with our country's current demands. He is convinced that replacing some of the more troublesome ministers would improve the situation considerably. He has already composed a list of possible candidates, loyal men that are known to favor more aggressive politics. And we can, we have two options. There is no need. We get the event Troublesome Ministry. It will drift less. We gain 3 in neutrality and 3 in descent. That I don't want. Or we can gain 5 in descent and lose 2 in neutrality. Yeah, I think we should do this. This means maybe we can even continue our China campaign, maybe. We'll see. There are still, of course, these warlord territories. And we have improved defensive support weapons. And we can now research light support weapons under infantry. And that would improve all our special forces, which we are using the first 3 of Marines, paratroopers and mountain. Let's get the anti-tank guns first. Okay, so we have 4 garrison divisions. One is going to Sapporo. To protect the island of Hokkaido. And we are wasting IC again. Reinforcement, yeah, it'll be redistributed to take care of itself, but we're researching anti-tank gun. Something is ahead of time. Yeah, defensive support weapons. I've put some anti-aircraft guns on Marcus Island. I'm trying to improve our Pacific Island base as well. This one could use some additional port capacity maybe. Okay. I have removed the garrisons from the main island because I do actually have, I have about 3 cores here. Our puppet of China Nanjing is struggling with some rebels, as we can see. Try to help them out. So let's bring some garrison divisions to our island bases. This one could probably use one. Where else do we have bases? We have one more here, in Sato one. Uliti is a base. This one is actually important, Saipan. It also has quite a large port. Marcus Islands. I was wondering whether the Soviet Union accepted the 40 fuel trade, and we are importing steel finally from the French Republic. Total of 27 units every day. And for some reason, to take care of the descent, the AI cut the IC going into production and moved some of it over to consumer goods. It should disappear pretty quickly. We could take the time to reorganize some of our fleet. Italy stops buying our energy. Fair enough. And we're moving IC back into production. There's one base here, Liti, that won't have a garrison for the moment. But it's not really a priority anyway. Not right now. But Saipan is a big priority. Uh, 12th Corps will be attached to the Korean army. And we have some forces in place here. We have an additional corps here. And Norway cancels a trade where they are buying rares from us. Not a big problem in my opinion. I would prefer to keep those for myself anyway. Of course, Yamato being at the bottom of the queue will always get bitten whenever there is a disruption in production, which will extend its construction time. It's just how things are. So by the end of this month, we'll free a total of 8.6, 14, 15.2, 18.8, roughly 20 IC by the end of the month. We can already start thinking about what to do with that. I think we should upgrade an additional light armor division to motorized infantry. And maybe start training a motorized support brigade. When we upgrade one cavalry regiment to motorized infantry, this will cost 3.65 IC, and it'll take check on this. We have a heavy surface ship unit here. Just attach it there. So it'll take until May 9. That's about 1, 2, 3, 4 months. The support regiment takes a bit more than 4 months. Uses a lot more IC. Yeah, so we'll start with this as soon as possible. And we have improved combat medicine. Stop researching this. It's now already January 1939, so we're a bit behind with all the 1938 technologies. But it is what it is. In terms of espionage, very hard to spy on the US and on the United Kingdom apparently. And we need to try to spy on the Soviet Union, of course. Eleventh Corps will attach to 5th Army. I think we should bring in some infantry divisions, take away these garrisons, and move them somewhere else maybe. I'm not quite sure. First of all, we're wasting IC, so we'll start the training of the motorized support brigade. Finish May 25, a bit later. And we have an additional garrison division. It'll be redeployed somewhere else as well. Not quite sure what to do with these cavalry divisions. Cavalry is actually pretty strong in terms of the game mechanics. Redistributing old weapons to our militias. Not really sure this was a thing for actual Japan. I think at the end, when they were worried about the invasion on the home islands, they started recruiting pretty poorly trained units. I'm not sure that they would qualify as militia in the traditional sense. And the, I believe this is the 3rd Marine Infantry Division. This is the 2nd one. I'll quickly rename this one. I will actually call them SNLF, which is what they are called in the division templates. And of course we'll use a Marine Commander. Be attached to the HQ. One will be called... And SNLF stands for... I think it stands for Strategic Naval Landing Force. Something of that sort. The first one is here. On the other hand, the traditional name would be Rikusenshiden. They are named after a city. Let's just call them SNLF. That's a I apologize. That's a abbreviation that's used frequently to refer to Second World War Japanese Marine Infantry. We have finished a land fort in Line. And we have improved our close air support pilot training. It's our strongest base here. This one is pretty strong. Truck. Okay. What about... Yeah, the rest of them is pretty weak. So. We could use a airfield in Palau. We'll leave the harbor as it is. We'll also install some anti-air guns. Maybe some more anti-aircraft guns in Saipan. Now the next Marine Infantry Division will be done by July 13. These will be done by March and June respectively. Transports will come back, maybe to Yokohama, where we are training our Marine Infantry. Also trying to reorganize our navy. I believe those are pretty modern cruisers. Everything that's yellow will upgrade, and everything that's in black will not upgrade. So some of the doctrines and trainings are of 1937. Our carrier has a shorter range than our light carrier. Interesting. I think we have to completely reform the navy for the most part. I'm going to collect all surface ships somewhere and form more reasonable flotillas. Excluding the submarines and transports. And I'm proud to say that we have a pretty large fleet already. I think eventually we should launch or commission our next battleship as well. I want to wait until this one is finished. And we have improved electronic engineering. What level are we at now? Okay, so we're now current time, so I'm gonna keep researching one more level. So we're really up to date. And am I able to build radars finally? Nope, not yet. Yeah, now I can research radars, so this is going to have priority. It's the offensive support weapons will finish. We'll take one research project out of infantry. We'll keep currently we're researching 4 projects in the infantry tech tree. We'll take one, we'll move one project over to researching radar. Right, we're in the course of collecting pretty much our entire fleet in one port so we can form reasonable squadrons and flotillas. Okay, no more fleets are on the move. So let's see what we have. We have 4 battle cruisers, 7 battleships, 3 large carriers, 21 destroyer flotillas, 3 light carriers, 18 heavy cruisers and 17 light cruisers. And France cancels our metal trade. Fortunate. But Italy is exporting some metal to us. And we still have the 1 metal trade from France. Okay. Let's combine some of these destroyer flotillas. Bring together the heavy cruisers. Plus the battleships and battle cruisers. Let's combine all carriers. Nope. Want to move all destroyers into 1 flotilla because I need to compare them. And we need a separate flotilla of just light cruisers. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. So now we can... Let's start with the destroyers. So the Roman numerals we can completely forget about, they're completely irrelevant. We start out with 5,100 kilometers of range at the top. That's usually, range is a good indicator as to the quality of the flotilla in question. We can also look at the armament. They have 127mm guns. and then the range drops to 4,500 kilometers. Guns stay the same. And we have one flotilla of 4,200. Kind of goes back and forth. Then we get some older ones. It's not even in order. But the oldest destroyers have a range of 3,600 kilometers. They have only 120mm guns. Okay. Now for the light cruisers. There is one, Katori is one that finished recently. And it has probably the largest range of 4,775 kilometers. It does have 100mm guns for the main arm, and then it has multi-purpose guns, 127mm. I assume that's the main armament. Maybe that's something that we should discuss in the forums. Would be nice to have the main armament having a larger caliber than the multi-purpose guns. Anyway, it does have 38,000 horsepower, shaft horsepower, and it does have a 14cm main belt. And we can see the others have 6.3cm. This one doesn't, Yubari doesn't have any armor at all. But it does have larger main guns. It has 140mm guns. This one even has 150mm guns. The Hoggy is actually pretty strong. Doesn't have any range and it's slow. 28.02 kilometers. More than 7 kilometers slower. Worry. But I mean, 150mm guns. This one is fast, Nagara. And it does have range. Not a strong belt though. Still pretty good armament. Doesn't have multi-purpose guns though. Well, okay. But now we have an idea on the cruisers. The light cruisers, what about the heavy cruisers? $3,100, $3,100. This is a newer one. This was recently in a refitting program. 5,000 kilometers. Same thing for Mikuma. Inugasa looks good. It's fast, it does have range. Bit weaker in the multi-purpose guns. Still 200mm main armament. Bit weak on the armor. Okay, so the better cruisers have around 5,000 to 6,000 kilometers. Okay. Huranachi Chokai. Well, pretty good. Okay, not bad. I think we can work with this. What about the carriers? Okay, so Soryu is our strongest carrier, our newest carrier, with a range of almost 8,000 kilometers. Does have a belt of 5 centimeters. Koga and Aokagi have more. They have more belt. But they're not as fast. And what about the light carriers? They're all around 30 kilometers per hour. The range varies wildly. Suiho is pretty well armored at 14 centimeters. And the other two, Hosha and Ruja, have no armor at all. Okay. In previous games I had carrier fleets of a heavy carrier or a regular carrier and a light carrier. But I feel more like creating different types of carrier fleet. Maybe more individual smaller carrier fleets instead of concentrating several carriers in one fleet. So I think we'll give each carrier at least one destroyer flotilla and 1 or 2 light cruisers. I think that makes sense. Let's the carrier with the lowest range. That's Koga and Aokagi are pretty much the same. So we'll start with Koga. Koga will get 2 light cruisers. So Koga has 5,600 kilometers of range. We don't have any light cruisers that can quite match this range. None of these, these light cruisers don't have any multi-purpose guns, but those down here have multi-purpose guns. So multi-purpose guns help with air defense. Everything works correctly. We don't have many light cruisers with multi-purpose guns. I think it's only the Katori. Maybe 1 or 2 other. Yubari has multi-purpose guns. I think that's it. Yep. Okay, so we'll go without multi-purpose guns. We'll use these light cruisers in different fleets to increase their anti-air capability. Okay. Should also have a destroyer flotilla. They don't need the very best destroyer flotillas. We can go with something that has a range of a bit more than 4,000 kilometers. Maybe with the 22nd destroyer flotilla. Then we need a commander here. Disengage timer. I think having a better disengage timer is good for a carrier commander. This way they can run away. Interesting. I will assign the commanders later, but we can rename the fleet. The submarine flotillas are called Sensui Sentai. The rest is called Yuso Kante. Those are transport. I think we'll go with English names. First carrier. We call those, I suppose, carrier task force. Should work. Now we'll do the same thing here with Kogi. Find some light cruisers. Kogi has a range of 5,600 kilometers. Fourth destroyer flotilla will do. This should be called second carrier task force. And we have Soryu, our newest carrier. We'll also receive 2 light cruisers and a fairly modern destroyer flotilla. About number 20. We called third carrier task force. For the light carriers. Might just give them 1 light cruiser maybe. It doesn't even have armor. Yeah, why not? They never should see any enemy surface units from close anyway. We can give those some medium recent destroyers. Maybe the 21st destroyer flotilla. We'll give the light carrier task forces other names. Maybe starting from 20. So this will be 21st carrier task force. And then we know visually that those are light carriers. Now Rougeau is pretty old. The range of 800 kilometers. No, that's actually, no, that's our newest carrier. So this one will be a moderately good light carrier. Maybe the Nogara. And of course also a destroyer flotilla. Something reasonably modern. Will be called 22nd Navy, 22nd Carrier Task Force. Those other cruisers down here, they're pretty poor actually, I think. HoI3 is recent. It was launched just a few weeks ago, but the rest here is pretty old. They can maybe help with some shore bombardment somewhere. Maybe we should, yeah, I think that's a good idea. We should probably call this and for department fleet. They're just or we'll just bad name. Call it CL fleet. It's just a light cruiser pool basically. Right, and we need Imperial flotilla here. And this remaining carrier task force. Number 18. Okay. That takes care of all the carriers. Move out to those. Now we can just move out. Now we can start forming some battle groups. We have 6 battleships and 4 battle crews. Uso, 5,200 kilometers of range, 32.5 knots. Yamashiro, same thing. 360mm guns. Centimeter belt. Yuga, same thing, same range. So all of these battleships pretty much have the same properties. Nagato has more range and is a bit faster. Larger guns as well. Same belt. What about the Mutsu? Mutsu and Nagato are the same. Then we have these battle cruisers. If those are all the same. Yeah, they're identical. We'll do something like this. A battleship and a battle cruiser. Okay. This gives us 4 battle groups, and then we have 2 battleships in reserve. Those are a bit more modern than the other ones. Great, like a modern battle group. This. Okay, then we can throw in some heavy cruisers and destroyers for these. For the heavy cruisers. 750, 550, 25. Miyoko has a long range, pretty fast. 10 centimeters of belt. Yep, we have a lot of heavy cruisers with very differing, varied properties. Not easy to decide. We'll probably not take the newest, best. I think this is our best one, Susuya. I think this is the most recent one. They all have 203mm guns, I believe. Osama they have nothing. I think we should probably get rid of it. Doesn't have ship construction material, doesn't have heavy cruiser main armament, doesn't have multi-purpose guns, doesn't have a cruiser engine. I think these Osama and Izuma are completely useless. So I think we'll break them up. Do we have any others that are bad like this? The other ones aren't always great, but they're not terrible. I mean, this is completely unusable. They have no armament, no armor, no multi-purpose guns. All they have some air defense, they have some belt. They have some, let's compare. Interesting, I've never quite seen this. So we have the Izumo and the Isama, they are the same, are they? Yeah, they're both Kasuga class. So we don't need to compare, those are the same. Now let's compare this to, I believe Kusuya is the most recent one. Roughly 2,000 kilometers more in range. 6 kilometers faster. Surface detection is the same, air detection is the same, sub detection ability is the same. Sea defense, more than twice as good for the new cruiser. Air defense, 2.5 times as good. Air attack, roughly double, more than double actually. One-way attack, 50% better. Sea attack, almost twice as good. Sub attack, same. Shore bombardment, 3 times as good. Hull, slightly better. Positioning, the same. Of course, no, all of these are 0. Night attacks, the same. And then the doctrines are the same. Anti-aircraft is the same. Belt, twice as good, but it also, not only is it twice as thick, but we have Kure copper non-cemented steel. And here with the old cruiser we have nothing. Surface detection system is the same. The Susuya is a reconstructed ship. Okay. I think we can safely... we'll keep them around for a bit. I mean, we aren't running low on anything that would require us to get rid of them, but maybe we'll just call them the first heavy carrier fleet, and we'll just keep in mind that those are the old ones that we can't use for anything really. Now let's assign some heavy cruisers to our surface battle groups. Now here we have a range. Wow, Haruna has long range, 7,900 kilometers. But Fuso has a range of 5,200. We can actually go, let's go give them Tokyo. Oh. We'll give each battle group one heavy cruiser first before adding more. Let's give HoI here. Maya will join Congo and Hugo. Then we have one more to assign. Bako and Furitaka sound older. They have smaller. They sound a bit older. Maybe a Togo to Ise and Hiei. And we have a double battleship group. We'll assign some new cruisers, Tsuyu and Kumono. And then we have some reasonably strong cruisers here, Haguro, Nachi, Miyoko, Hashigara, and Mikumo and Mogami. We will join these old cruisers and the older light cruisers. And we'll call this the reserve fleet. And into the reserve fleet we'll put everything that needs repairs, that's old or unassigned yet because it was freshly launched, like the Kotori. It's pretty new, it's the best light cruiser, but we haven't assigned it yet. Okay, and then we can distribute some more destroyers. Maybe 2 of those. I would say that completes this fleet. Let's rebase this one to Kaohsiung. I have a pretty good commander as well. Might have to rename it though. Call this one the DD pool. And I'll call this one heavy cruiser pool. Okay, now our battle groups need some destroyers. Yeah, they will be limited in range by destroyers, but really no way around it. We have some old destroyers here, 3,600 kilometers of range only. I don't know how to compare those. I mean, let's take a number 1 here. That's a Momo class. Let's compare that to maybe this one. Wookiee class. What about this one? Otaka class. And the Mutsuki class. I believe it's old, new, or old, new. But this one is good. Yeah. Very high sea defense. Okay. I think the higher the Latin number here, the Roman, not the Roman numerals, the higher the Arabic numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 10, or the higher this one, the first number here, the better. That's basically an indicator of their modernity. So 12 is good. $14, $13, $15. Yep, that's pretty good. I think now we're left with older, so great destroyers. We still have one surface action group to complete with destroyers. I think we'll cycle them around as we're building new new destroyers anyway. And I think that's pretty much it. The commander here for the reserve fleet is a administrator only, so it doesn't matter that he incurs a penalty. Now for the 4th Navy, consisting of Fuso, Haruna, Tokao, 11th and 12th destroyer flotillas. Find some reasonable commanders. We can always reassign them later on, but at least that we have something in place. Carrier task force and this battleship group is they're doing okay. Now we can assign commanders to these carrier task forces when they arrive in port. Which is now. This is our newest, most modern carrier. We'll give it to the best commander that we have. And we have improved fighter pilot training. See what this is. Oh, this is ahead of time now. This is close air support pilot training. We should switch these around a little bit. Let's get our bomber pilots trained up as well. I will move this one to fighter ground crew training. Yeah. To balance things out. I'm wondering what's going on. Why? So Austria, we're in February of 1939 and Austria has not been annexed into Germany, so the Anschluss didn't take place. And also the Spanish Civil War didn't break out. Nationalist Spain is nowhere to be seen. Nothing has happened to Czechoslovakia yet. Pretty interesting. Okay. Sometimes when you're deep in process of reorganizing your army, you completely forget to see what's going on otherwise. Now, for a navy, don't we have what's going on? Why is it? Maybe find some older or some less skilled commanders to our mere transport fleets. The carrier pool doesn't need to be commanded by best commander. Oh. Oh, we have a pretty old fleet of pretty old. That's what I forgot this one. An old fleet sitting in Dalian. We'll just move it back to the mainland and distribute it to the pools. This commander gained a little bit of experience, but not very much, in raiding some convoys during the conflict with China. Have a couple of vice admirals. Let's replace this one with Yamamoto Isoruku. Then 22nd Carry Task Force will be commanded by Mr. Shigeru. Yeah, I think that's takes care of the reorganization. The Navy can assign a Corps Commander for the 11th Corps. There's a lone carrier group. That's a bit weird. All of these have carrier groups. Hoga only has one. No, it does have two. I don't get it. Hoga has two. Hoki has two. Doryu has... Right. Not sure. Okay, so 23rd. I don't get it why the carrier group for the 23rd carrier task force is not under the actual carrier. Let's move them into a port where there is no airbase. Okay, now they're back on the carrier. I have no idea what happened here. Let's replace this commander with see if we have fleet destroyers in all these carrier air groups. For the most part, we do. Brilliant. Now under the Japanese Navy HQ we should also have two wings of naval bombers. Which we do. Now this air group is still up here. Maybe it didn't update properly or something, I don't know. It'd be okay now. Okay, and we have stolen some blueprints. For man, that's bad. Bad. Cool. coup d'espionnage because we were researching those and we were almost done. But oh well. We set the next important technology to obtain is radar. So let's get going. We are in spring of 1939. Let's see. May 15, May 8, May 22, July. Okay, that takes care of research. Let's go into production. I will soon finish quite a bit here. Namely, fortifications, another division of mountain infantry, a flotilla of submarines, IC eventually. Pretty good. Also nice is all our resources are green. Means we are increasing them. We're even making money despite everything. And we're almost back at 700 manpower. Officer ratio is still slightly rising. Intelligence works difficult still, but at least we have now 3 spies in the US. We're keeping them a bit busy. The US are building a nuclear research lab. Interesting. I think this is a good place, a good time to stop for today, end the stream, and I'll be back one of these days, and certainly towards the end of next week. I want to thank everybody who stopped by. I wish you a good evening, a good night, and see you soon. Take care. Thanks for stopping by.